Hi everyone. I hope everyone is staying safe and well. So for the past few weeks, the specials teachers have been asked to do live lessons instead of pre-recorded lessons. And many students have been pretty good about signing on to all of the Google Meets. And a lot of students have had some difficulty with it, which we can understand. Some students have Wi-Fi issues. Some students have scheduling issues with, different things going on in the house. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to provide to all of you the lessons that I've been teaching live. Because I want all of you to be able to say that you met the expectation for my class. So even if we couldn't do the live lessons, maybe you can watch these pre-recorded lessons. So what I would like for you to do is, if you haven't been able to log on to my Google Meets for the past few weeks, I want you to watch this recorded lesson and one more that I'm going to do right after this. And I want you to post a comment underneath it on either my Google Classroom page or your classroom teacher's Google page, because I can post on Miss Merkert's page and I can post on Miss Kerwin's. I can't do Miss Poole's because I don't have access to it, but I do have the other two teachers. So please post a comment underneath that video. Maybe include something that you learned from the video or something that you liked about the video, so that I know that you watched it for sure and aren't just saying that you watched it. And then for your report card grades, I can mark you as meeting my expectation for my class. So I want to give everyone every opportunity to make sure that they can do that, okay? So this first lesson that I'm going to teach you was inspired by the warmer weather that we've been having for the last few weeks. And many people have been using that opportunity to go outside more, to go on long walks, maybe to go for a bike ride, go to the beach. I love the beach. The beach is one of my favorite places to go to. And I'm sure it's many of your favorites as well. So when we go for these long walks, maybe we come across more animals. We see the birds outside. In our area, we have a lot of deer. And it made me think about how a lot of composers or people who write music try to write music that sort of portrays different animals. The first example that comes to mind for me is a piece that's written called The Carnival of the Animals. Maybe some of you have heard of that. There's one section where they try to sound like a donkey. There's another section of the music where they try to sound like kangaroos. Another one is the elephants. Another one is called the aquarium, where they try to sound like fish. It's a very cool piece, and I love that piece. It's beautiful music, and it's just so cool. But this lesson isn't about the Carnival of the Animals. It's about another piece. It's written by a man called Nikolai Rimsky-Korsakov. He is a Russian composer, and he writes some really interesting and beautiful music. And he tried to sound like a particular animal for this piece. And I want you to see if you can figure out what animal he's trying to sound like. So I'm going to play that for you now. Just trying to go back to the beginning. There we go. Okay. That piece was 3 minutes and 20 seconds long, approximately. I love that piece. You kind of noticed me bopping my head along to the music because it's just so amazing. And the musicians that play that music have to be really good musicians, because when we think about the tempo of that piece, tempo meaning how fast or slow a piece of music is, was it really fast or was it really slow? It was pretty fast, wasn't it? Right? I picture the flute player of that orchestra moving their fingers like this. I mean, you had to really move your fingers pretty fast, right? And so when you think about how fast this piece was, what kind of animal are you picturing in your mind? Are you picturing an animal that moves fast or slow? Probably fast. A lot of kids, when they listen to this, picture the first animal that comes to mind when they think of a fast animal is maybe a cheetah or a jaguar. Yeah, those are animals that move pretty fast. Some of the notes that they were playing went pretty high. Maybe we think of an animal that flies, an animal that's pretty high in the sky. What kinds of animals fly? Well, you have birds. Maybe you have insects that fly, right? So maybe you think of a hummingbird. Or maybe you think of a dragonfly, right? Those are animals where their wings move really fast and they can fly pretty high in the sky. We're getting close now to the animal that Rimsky-Korsakov was trying to portray. And guess what? The title of this piece is The Flight of the Bumblebee. So, what animal was Rimsky-Korsakov trying to portray? He was trying to portray the bumblebee. And if you think about it, it makes sense, doesn't it? You could sort of hear the buzzing. You could hear bzzz, right? You can hear the notes moving really fast. You can picture it kind of flying high in the sky, right? Bumblebees don't necessarily fly that high, but they can. So yeah, when we think about music, sometimes music reminds us of things in nature. Sometimes it reminds us of the trees or the mountains or the water. Or sometimes it reminds us of animals. And that's the whole point of this lesson. Think about, when you listen to music, things that come to mind or things that you picture. All right? So there's lesson number 1. All right? I'm going to post one more lesson after this. And don't forget to leave a comment on my Google Classroom to let me know that you watched it. Okay? And I'll mark you down as meeting the expectation for that class. Thank you. See you next time.